Now, what is President Uhuru Kenyatta's game plan with Gideon Moi? And what role is Gideon Moi playing around President Uhuru Kenyatta? Because one thing is now clear. Gideon Moi's influence around the president has actually increased tremendously in the past few months. What is their game plan? Because we know politics is about interest. What is Uhuru's interest in Gideon Moi? And what is Gideon Moi's interest with the President Uhuru Kenyatta? Because we also know one thing, that Gideon Moi is nursing a presidential ambition in 2022. We also know that President Uhuru Kenyatta will not be contesting for the presidency in 2022. And the president will also not support his deputy, William Samoei Ruto, a man he promised to support publicly in this country. So he will not support his deputy. And we also know that as at now, Raila Odinga has not declared his interest for the presidency in 2022. But his supporters expect the name Raila Odinga to be on the ballot in 2022. And they don't only do that, they also expect President Uhuru Kenyatta to actually endorse Raila Odinga for the presidency in 2022. But there's a challenge. There is the emerging Gideon factor around President Uhuru Kenyatta. And this Gideon factor around the president is actually worrying Raila Odinga's allies. They are worried that Gideon Moi might actually edge out Raila Odinga from President Uhuru Kenyatta. And for us to understand their worries, in sometimes 2 months ago, President Uhuru Kenyatta dispatched Gideon Moi to represent him in Malawi during the swearing in of the new president. And Gideon Moi was the head of that delegation. Gideon Moi used a military chopper to Malawi. And number two, we also know that Gideon Moi is the leader of KANU. Uhuru Kenyatta was at one point the KANU presidential candidate in 2002. And recently, Gideon Moi entered into a post-election agreement with with Jubilee Party of President Uhuru Kenyatta. So they formed what is now called the Jubilee Coalition. So all those things are pointing to something. And it did not end there. In Parliament and at the Senate, at the National Assembly and at the Senate, we witnessed Samuel Pogisho taking over from Kipchumba Murkomen. Samuel Pogisho is a senator elected on a KANU ticket, a very close ally of Gideon Moi. Kipchumba Murkomen was a Jubilee elected senator, a close ally of the deputy president, William Samoei Ruto. But the president opted to support Samuel Pogisho as the majority leader at the National Assembly. So that was also a signal. And we also know that of late, allies of Gideon Moi are getting government appointments. In fact, it's a big issue in Rift Valley that anybody who is perceived to be allied to the deputy president and is in government, they are being kicked out and their places taken over by the allies of Gideon Moi. And at some point, I remember Joshua Kotony disagreeing bitterly with Gideon Moi over this specific issue of appointment to government.
Na mimi nataka kumweleza Gideon Moi. Juzi amepewa nafasi kidogo na rais ya kuchagua watu. Kila ambacho nimeona ni uko yake. Watu wote watatu ni uko moja tu na jamii yake. Kwa hivyo sisi hatuwezi kuja kukushangilia wewe wakati unasaidia jamii yako iweze kupata mnofu. Na wakina yae ambao wamekuwa katika safari hii wanapata mifupa. Hatuwezi kubali. Hapo ndio ilikuwa njia panda, ilitufikisha njia panda kati ya sisi na Ruto. Nataka kumweleza Gideon, uwezi kuchukua hiyo nafasi kuadhibu wale watu ambao ama kupatia wasiwasi na kupatia vitisho wale maafisa wa serikali ambao labda waliandikwa na Ruto ama walionekana walikuwa karibu na Ruto. Hiyo sisi hatuwezi kubali. Na kama itakuwa ni mimi na Gideon kupeana talaka na ndoa kuvunjika kwa kutetea wananchi na maafisa walioko serikalini na jamii kwa ujumla kwa haki yao, mimi niko tayari kupeana talaka. Si talaka ya kwanza hii. Siasa ni interest. Mimi utaniulinda, mimi nikulinde. Usiponilinda mimi sitakulinda.
But why is this new friendship and influence, Gideon Moi's influence around President Uhuru Kenyatta, worrying Raila Odinga's allies. Why are they worried? We all know that Raila Odinga has ODM as a political party. We all know that Gideon Moi has KANU as a political party. Uhuru has Jubilee. So we have these three individuals owning their own political parties. Recently, Gideon Moi decided to enter into an agreement between KANU and Jubilee Party. So Raila Odinga is now left alone, if you look at it from that perspective. Then it didn't end there. Wiper Party also entered into a coalition agreement with KANU and with Jubilee. And what that means is very simple, that Raila Odinga is now along the other side. And I remember allies of Raila Odinga, including Edwin Sifuna, responding and attacking Kalonzo Musyoka over that particular move, because they feared that Kalonzo Musyoka was also going to take a space which was being occupied by Raila Odinga. But why are they worried? I have 5 reasons why Raila Odinga's allies are actually worried about Gideon Moi's influence around President Uhuru Kenyatta. Number one of their biggest fears is the historical family ties between Gideon Moi and Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta became the president of the Republic of Kenya, but courtesy of one man called President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi. Moi did everything and ensured that Uhuru became the president of the Republic of Kenya. In return, the old man expected Uhuru Kenyatta to ensure that Gideon Moi also takes over from him. The situation and the environment might not favor Gideon Moi in 2022. But that's something which is really worrying President Uhuru Kenyatta. And how will the president achieve this? Will it mean sacrificing Raila Odinga? Will it mean supporting someone else who is weak in the expectation that in the next election in 2022, this guy will go away? What is the president's game plan? But the fact is, the historical ties between these two families is making Raila Odinga's allies very much worried, because there is a tie between these two families which can never be broken. Probably even Gideon Moi might be expected to support another Kenyatta family member, because the Kenyatas, they would also want to become the president of the Republic of Kenya again through one of their sons and daughters in future. And that will only lie in sustaining the dynasty. So Gideon Moi and Uhuru Kenyatta enjoys that family ties. And apart from that, Uhuru Kenyatta actually went to the same school with Gideon Moi. And that family ties is actually worrying Raila Odinga's allies. Number 2 is the NASA coalition politics. So far, Raila Odinga amebaki tu Raila Odinga. NASA has died, which means Kalonzo Musyoka is no longer part of Raila Odinga. It also means Musalia Mudavadi is no longer part of Raila Odinga. It also means Moses Wetangula is no longer part of Raila Odinga. You can ask questions whether those guys were adding value or not to Raila Odinga. In my view, they were adding value. So they are no longer part of Raila Odinga's equation. Now, you go to the other side, there's William Ruto, who has been kicked out of Jubilee Party. William Ruto is also charting his own political path. Now, is it possible that the president can then decide not to even endorse Gideon Moi? And after endorsing Gideon Moi, he will be assured that in Rift Valley, Ruto is likely to win and share the spoil with Gideon Moi. He might be sure that Kalonzo and Musalia Mudavadi can actually be talked to support Gideon Moi. So if that will happen, it means Gideon Moi will have a chance in Ukambani, assuming Kalonzo Musyoka becomes the running mate. Central Kenya are not comfortable with Raila Odinga. That's the biggest problem. So is it possible that the president is looking at an opportunity to propel this guy so that at the end of the day, we go for a rerun, let's say of 2 individuals, maybe Ruto and Gideon Moi, or Gideon Moi and Raila Odinga. Then now the system can kick in. Is it possible that that's the reason why NASA has collapsed? You can't rule out anything in politics. Number 3, I think there is also kind of division within President Uhuru Kenyatta's inner circles, the system around President Uhuru Kenyatta. There is division. I'm saying this with authority, and I'm suspecting that this is what is now giving prominence to Gideon Moi. And why is it worrying the allies of Raila Odinga? This division within these people means that there are individuals around President Uhuru Kenyatta who are not keen on supporting Raila Odinga for the presidency. And that's the reality. It's there. If you interact with these people, they'll tell you that there are elements around the president who are not sure about Raila Odinga's presidency. And there are also some elements around the president who believes that the president should actually support his deputy because the deputy has a chance. But also there's this camp which believes that Gideon Moi or Kalonzo Musyoka or those former KANU members are the best replacement for President Uhuru Kenyatta. So this division is what is now giving prominence to Gideon Moi. So you'll find that in around Uhuru Kenyatta, there are people who are actually pushing for Gideon Moi to succeed the president. So it means they must give Gideon Moi leeway, access to the president. If there are job opportunities, Gideon Moi is told, well, leta watu wako, kama kuna any opportunity. So as just to make him happy. So I think because of that division, the allies of Raila Odinga are worried, because initially their thinking was that the president had settled on Raila Amolo Odinga. Number 4 is Gideon Moi's acceptability. Gideon Moi can be easily accepted both by the system and by the political class. You can't say the same of Raila Odinga and even William Ruto. Raila and Ruto are known to command massive following. But despite that, there's a way also for them, it's very difficult for them to be accepted by the system. The system has not embraced the deputy president, and that's why they're removing the deputy president. This is a man who was just close to the presidency. In fact, the only thing which was standing between the deputy president, William Ruto, and the presidency was the president term coming to an end. But all this changed. It changed because the system has not accepted the deputy president. Raila Odinga won elections in this country. I don't want to talk about 2013 or 2017. Anytime I talk about it, people think from my observation that I'm talking of things I don't know. Let's talk of 2007. In 2007, Raila Odinga won elections in this country free, fair, and square. He was never sworn in as the president of the Republic of Kenya. The question is, why was Raila Odinga not sworn in as the president of the Republic of Kenya? It's simple. He was not acceptable to the political class and to the system. And that's why the system was readily available. I mean, that's why the system readily reacted by bringing on board Kalonzo Musyoka to act in place of Raila Odinga as the vice president during that particular time. So this system and the political class, Raila Odinga today is hated. He's loved, yes, his supporters love him, but there's a group who also don't like Raila Odinga at all. This group could be the ones pushing for Gideon Moi. Because in politics, there's what we call historical loyalty. So these people have sat down and they've run a test on Raila Odinga's history. What has he done? What does he believe in? Things like those. So because of those historical loyalty, you'll find the Mois and the Kenyattas can easily actually bond very fast than Raila Odinga, who they'll view as an outsider. And that's why the deputy president also had a problem. And lastly, the biggest fear around Raila Odinga's allies over this Gideon Moi factor is past historical betrayal in this country. And this is why, if you ask the people of Central Kenya, they want to support the deputy president because they believe if they don't support the deputy president for the presidency, they'll be considered as people who are thankless, people who cannot keep their promise, people who cannot support someone else away outside their tribe. So because of past political betrayal, Raila Odinga's allies are just worried that, okay, hawa watu walipromise Raila presidency, hakupewa. So again, walipromise Ruto presidency, pia Ruto hajapata. Now how sure are we that this time around they'll give Raila Odinga. So because of those past political betrayal, I am sure Raila Odinga's allies are not very comfortable with Gideon Moi around President Uhuru Kenyatta. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. And if you're watching this video for the first time, please just take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And again, to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for your support. The t-shirts, this is now black. The one I used earlier was blue. This is black. So there are several colors. And just to make a clarification, my point was that the t-shirts they're almost ready. But what I want is I want to test. And the test, I know I'll easily deliver the t-shirts in the country here. But what about outside? Because I'm also receiving a lot of demands from outside. And that's why I said, guys, I need 2 or 3 people who can agree to, we can negotiate on through WhatsApp so that I can send them t-shirts. If they order 2 or 3, I can send them. If they receive, then we'll know that the system we intend to use can actually deliver the t-shirts to the right people. We don't want a situation where we deliver, then at the end of the day, everybody will be complaining here that Lee, you did not send us t-shirts. Probably some will even claim that nimechukua pesa nikakula. Yeah, so to avoid those, I just wanted 2 or 3 people who can agree to send money for their t-shirts. Then I send them the t-shirts. Once they receive them, whether it's going to take a week or 2, once they receive the t-shirts from outside the country, then we will definitely confirm that the system is working. Then we can now use it rather than trial and error. And I want to thank someone from Robin from Qatar. He's ready. And I know there's also another guy from the United States of America who is also ready for the test. But for those who are locally here, you don't have, your case is very easy. I can even deliver them physically. There's no problem with that. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day.